we're Kaylee and Jordan, and we live here on the side of a mountain in Panama. There's probably a lot of you guys watching this right now that are thinking about moving here to Panama.
And today we want to take a little bit to tell you why you shouldn't. There's a lot about this place that you guys don't know that we're gonna kind of unravel in this video. And then in the end, we're gonna wrap it up by telling you a few reasons why maybe you should move here.
We have lived here for nearly 6 years, so we've experienced a lot of ups and downs of this place.
And we're right in the middle of building our own dream home. So we're gonna break it down for you while we work on our foundation, because we're saving the juiciest for last. And some of the stuff that we say at the end is gonna shock you.
I think it might be time for a new wheelbarrow soon.
The most common reason why we hear that people want to move here down to Panama, basically you can guarantee without fail that after any major election, whether it's in the States or in Canada or somewhere in Europe or wherever, after any election, our inbox is full of people who now are interested in leaving their country and moving here because of some political decision that happened that they don't like. But the thing I think that people don't realize is there's political unrest here too. I mean, there's been a handful of times that there's been protests all over the streets. And here in Boguete, we have no gasoline, we have no propane. We actually had 2 friends here from South Africa. They moved here. And if you guys don't know what's going on in South Africa, it's wild right now. And they came here to kind of like escape everything that was going on. But then once they got here, after a few years, with all the unrest that was going on here too, they went back. They decided they would rather deal with kind of everything that's going on in South Africa. Kind of the moral of the story is, grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I think if there's one thing that I've learned over these last 5 or 6 years, it's that if you're reliant on a government to make you happy, you're gonna be in for a bad time.
So we're basically picking up where we left off just a few days ago, which is on this wall here. We still have maybe about 4 more blocks that we have to go. The thing is though, Jordan has been cutting these to fit into this rebar here. So he's over there cutting those now. I'll then place them down, and then we'll be working on our last wall for this little bodega here. This whole area here is just an absolute muddy mess right now.
And I think the natural thing is when someone comes here and there's things they don't like, the first thing they're gonna do, what do people try and do here all the time?
I feel like people try to kind of like, they want to change it into what they're coming from. Like they want to have the conveniences from where they left behind.
We'll often hear things like, I don't know why I can't renew my driver's license online, or why can't I pay my ticket like this, or why are the roads bad, or when I go out to eat, why does it take so much time, or I mean the list just goes on. And I think the biggest recommendation I can give is Panama has been built by the Panamanians, and it's been built the way that they want it. And the best piece of advice I can give is don't come here if you want it to be like where you're from, because it's not. It's different. They have their own culture, their own way of life.
Absolutely.
And that's what makes this place special.
Something to remember too is we are guests here.
And I think that when people come here and try and change Panama, it makes Panamanians kind of upset. You can see our guys here working on column number 12. They're putting up box number 2 right now, going all the way up, which kind of brings us to our next point, which is don't come to Panama if you want to get a job. The only thing that you can do here is either work for yourself or work for a company in another country.
So Panama has this thing put into place where if you wanted to hire someone that was a non-Panamanian, you would have to have at least 10 Panamanians working for you. So it's a 10-to-1 ratio. Every 1 non-Panamanian, 10 Panamanians. So it's not impossible to get a job here, but it's very, very, very challenging unless, like George said, you're an entrepreneur or you're starting your own business.
We're heading out of here, we're running down to the city. We gotta pick up some stuff for our house build, and the city is about an hour away. And that's where we do most of our shopping. Bye bye, my girls. See you in a minute. We'll see how long this takes me. One of the things about being here is there's no one-stop shops, which I like. But the downside is there's like 12 to 15 little, small hardware stores. And you gotta kind of run around because each of them have different things. Yes. This is sicka grout, and this goes between the columns that we're pouring and the metal. This is like the barrier between concrete and metal. And I need a bunch of this, and they happen to have 5 bags here. I've been to the store a bunch, they haven't had it for months.
Look at the doggy. Go ahead. Santo. I actually do love coming to David now because this place, TNT Roasters, definitely my favorite place for food here in David, and they make the best homemade sourdough pesto gnocchi.
I always have a running list of like 10 different things I'm always looking for because you never know when you're going to see it. Like, I'm looking for a wooden tray for my Brewers Cup competition, and like, I can get this small acacia cutting board, which is almost it, but I need it like 3 times the size. I got 2 out of the 6 things that I needed, but that's pretty good. That's like a really good thing. We'll wait for another day to get the other stuff. Maybe it'll come in, but I did get plastic bins, which is great. I've been looking for these everywhere. So if you're thinking about coming to Panama, just know that if you come here, prepare for your life to be a little bit more inconvenient, especially on the shopping front, and just be ready for things to be more inconvenient in general. You guys have no idea how convenient it is to have addresses. And when you don't have addresses, people can't deliver stuff to you. And you have any idea how convenient that is to just go on your computer, click a button, and a day or 2 later it just shows up? Yeah, none of that. That's all gonna go away.
Best gnocchi ever.
All right, one more stop. This one is gonna be an expensive one. You guys think I can fit out of here? I've been getting a little fat. Suck it in. Tengo cafe? Okay, actually, that wasn't too bad. I didn't know, but because I'm sending coffee, it's coffee for some of you guys, and you guys that got the golden tickets for our giveaway that we did. Getting a sample of my competition coffee. I just shipped that out of this DHL. Let me squeeze back in here.
Dad, I still need to poop.
You pooping?
Yeah.
You want me to leave?
Yeah.
All right, bye.
One thing I will tell you is do not move to Panama if you don't like the rain. We get over 200 inches of rain here in Panama. It is raining more often than not.
Let's go and get some eggies.
All right, you guys. I'm very sorry to interrupt, but I need some breakfast. So this next one is a pretty big one, and I think could be a deal breaker for a lot of you guys. You are definitely not going to want to move to Panama if you are afraid of bugs, insects, or reptiles, because we got them. And we don't just got them, we have all the creepy crawly ones. We got the fuzzy ones, the huge ones. We got poisonous ones. We got tarantulas. We have moths the size of your hand. We have scorpions. And yes, we have seen them in our house. We've even seen them in our bed. And I gotta be honest, I used to be deathly afraid of those things, but after living here 6 years, I've definitely become a lot more desensitized. But don't get me wrong, if there's a spider crawling across the floor, I am running for my life. Check out this caterpillar, you guys. It is so spiky. That is definitely one you do not want to touch.
And the culture here really is to spray. If you have bugs, you spray. If you have weeds, you spray. If there's plants you don't want, you spray. So for decades before we got this farm, they drenched the soil in chemicals. And it's made it really hard to plant everything, from our own food to plants to flowers to even grass. And that's kind of just been the moral of the story. Until now, if you see this grass behind me, we finally figured out how to have a nice lawn. And it was only made possible by the help of the sponsor of today's video, which is Sunday. We just got our Sunday shipment in. And if you guys don't know what Sunday is, it's a custom tailored lawn care plan just for your lawn. And it's so simple. All you have to do is go into their website. They ask you a few questions like where you live, what your soil type is, what you want to accomplish. And they put together a custom lawn plan just for you that is so easy. Like, you guys, I feel like almost anything I touch dies, and this, like, I'm so stoked with how it's been working so far, and I'm so happy that the ingredients in this lawn care plan are just so much better than traditional fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, and all that junk. Your lawn care plan gets shipped directly to your door with exactly what you need. And all you have to do is hook their nozzle up to your hose, you screw the bag of Sunday on, and you apply it to your lawn. And in this day and age, with a 3-year-old, a farm, running multiple businesses, anything that I can do to make my life easier, I'm gonna take it. I'm a practical kind of guy, honey. When I put down sod and it immediately dies, and then we put down new sod and we spray Sunday on it and it comes out looking like this, proof's in the pudding, honey.
The proof is in the pudding.
I mean, look at it. It's beautiful. It's green. It's lush. What else do you want out of a lawn?
The grass powerhouse, baby. That is what you need.
Spring is here and very soon it'll be summer, which means this is the perfect time to get going on your custom lawn care plan and get your lawn looking like mine, and I promise it is just so dang easy. And Sunday's making it even easier for you because if you click our link down in the description below and you use promo code Nomadic30, Sunday will give you 30% off your custom lawn care plan. So check out the link down below. Thank you so much, Sunday, for sponsoring this video and helping me achieve this. I'm so proud of this. I'm over here, I'm cutting up some rebar. What do you do? Oh man. I gotta cut up a whole bunch of rebar, just make a bunch more of a screaming metal death trap out of our foundation over here. I need to cut like 6 or 7 vertical pieces and then 6 or 7 horizontal pieces because we're gonna be filling up the blocks with concrete. And as we're filling it up, we're gonna need to be putting these pieces of bar in place.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. I think the geese, like, not only do they have their own like language, but like, I think they have their own like body language. One of the baby geese just had like a face off with the other baby geese. And this is what it did. Like, pretend like I'm a goose, right? You're the other goose. This is what it did, I swear to God.
Do you eat mushrooms today? Are you like tripping out right
no,
now?
No, it lifted its leg, it held it there for like 5 seconds, kept its eye contact with the goose the whole time, and then just put it back. What do you think that means?
Have you been
No, baby, I'm just high on life. This area is so muddy, we had to make a little bridge.
I got something really important to tell you guys. I want to walk away from this concrete mixer so you guys aren't listening to a concrete mixer going the whole time, but if you guys are thinking about moving down here and you're budgeting what you're going to do for a car, and I know a lot of people, especially from the States, like buying used cars is so popular, so common. I would do everything that you possibly can here to not buy a used car. Because I got scammed, and a bunch of my friends have gotten scammed, or they've just taken on massive headaches when you buy a used car, because culturally here, people just treat their cars a little different. A lot of our Panamanian friends will put water in instead of coolant. You know, they'll put water in there, and that rusts the car from the inside out, especially all the minerals in the water. And a lot of people will go a really long time here without changing the oil. And also when you're just driving around here, there's so many cars that are just blowing black smoke, which means a blown head gasket, and that basically means you need a whole new motor. I got scammed on a used car. I bought a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon, and I thought it would be great for here, living on the side of a mountain with a dirt road and all that. Turned out that the car was a scam car. It was washed up in a hurricane in Texas. And then when cars are washed up in hurricanes, they'll sell them to other countries that will take them, like Panama. And yeah, the guy who got it fixed up just enough where it looked really nice. But there was massive saltwater damage. And there's no lemon laws to protect you. So you just have to be careful with buying used vehicles.
We're here, we're at your school. So we're just heading to Sade's school right now, which she has a couple days a week, just for a couple hours, and it's mostly just to supplement the homeschooling that we're gonna be doing with her. But one thing that has surprised me and has kind of bummed me out about the school education system here is it can be a little bit unstable. So for example, Sade's nanny and a good friend of ours who helps Sadie in the morning, she has 2 boys herself, and they're both in the public school system. And one of them hasn't been able to go to school for weeks because one of the teachers has been participating in the protests that have been going on here in Panama, and he's kind of just out of luck. Like he can't go to another teacher. They won't let him enroll in another public school because it's halfway through the year, which stinks. And he's not able to get his education because of it. So if you're thinking of coming here and putting your children in the public school system, it's just something to note. It is a little bit unstable. Luckily for us, we do plan on homeschooling and kind of using these alternative Montessori workshops and whatnot. So one thing that Jordan and I quickly learned when we moved here to Panama, and honestly bummed me out so much, that organic produce is very hard to come by. Because we live in a very tropical climate here, there's a lot of bugs, there's a lot of humidity, a lot of rain. So it's very hard to grow organically. Hence, a big reason why our long-term goal is to eventually grow a lot of our own vegetables on Lola's farm.
All right, we spent a lot of time talking about the reasons why you shouldn't move to Panama, but now is a time where I want to tell you guys the reasons that you should. And we got a few really good ones. After all, we decided to move here, and after 6 years of a lot of madness, we're not even close to ever considering leaving, because we love this place. We are leaving the farm right now. We're taking a little trip to the other side of the volcano, just a little night away. I'm driving some gnarly roads through the heavy rain right now, and I think this is the perfect time to say something that's a little bit triggering. I don't know.
Let's hear it, honey.
I can only compare this to the United States, but in Panama, you have more freedoms than in the United States.
100%.
And that's just with all the day-to-day stuff, like trying to open a business here is so much easier. Trying to build a house here is so much easier. There's so much less permitting and insurance.
So much less red tape.
And all the rules. And I feel like in the United States, it's like you're under this threat of always being sued, and which makes it so there's so many rules and so much insurance and so much layers and layers and layers. Where here it's like,
fend for yourself.
Yeah, fend for yourself, and if there's a wire sticking out of a light post and you touch it and you get electrocuted, it's like, why did you touch the wire, you silly person? Where in the States, it's like you sue them for all they're worth, because now you can never touch a light switch ever again in your life because you're traumatized.
That's so true.
Something else that kind of goes in line with freedom is here in Panama, you can be so much more financially free. Like the cost of all the basics, like food, car insurance, everything like that, so much more affordable. I know eggs have been all the rave nowadays, and if you look, you can get a dozen eggs here for $2. You can get a pound of steak for $2.75. And I'm sorry if this triggers you, but my car insurance costs $120 for the whole year. That's $10 a month. Whoa, that's $10 a month, but you do have to deal with power outages like we just experienced.
But I just asked for a big old chicken. We're gonna make a nice roasted chicken for dinner. Welcome to Panama. They must have a generator here. And so I asked for a big roasted chicken and they pull it out and the head is still dangling.
Something that's so great about living here too is they use the US dollar, which a lot of you guys might not expect. And it's not very common around here. Most of the countries around here have their own currency. And one of the issues that a lot of countries around here have is they'll have runaway inflation. Like if you look at Colombia, their inflation is like out of control. And because they use the dollar here, it just makes it so much easier to work in the United States and bring your money here. You have to pay the conversion stuff. You have to be converting stuff in your head. It makes it so easy. We're just going deep into the jungle right now. We're staying at such a special place. Look at this little house, you guys. Look at this spot. This is actually our friend's place. And we're gonna be staying here for just about 24 hours. Just a small little getaway here in the mountains of Volcan, which is the other side of the volcano. But this ends our little breakdown of why you shouldn't move to Panama.
Or why you should.
We hope that for some of you guys that are thinking about moving here, this maybe helped you out a little bit, maybe give you a little insight, because honestly it makes us sad when people uproot their lives, move down here, and they don't like it, and then they'll go back home. So I hope with this we could take a little bit of that experience, share it with you guys. If you guys are thinking about moving down here, you got two friends in us to come and hang out with, because we're always looking for new friends, new people to hang out with here in the jungle of Panama. But that's where we're wrapping this one up. We love you guys.
We love you guys so much. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See you next time.